Hello, and let's play some Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns. So, I've been having some recording issues. I used DxStory to record my gameplay, and for some reason DxStory decided it's a good idea to split up my video files into little pieces from 2 to 5 minutes long. And Adobe Premiere Pro does not like it when I edit those little pieces together. When I try to export the media, it keeps giving an error after a while. So I've been trying to fix that. I'm not sure. I haven't really found a fix yet for DxStory. I've been messing with some settings and stuff. I might have made it worse. Who knows? But yeah, I resorted back to using fraps now. So let's just see how that goes, I guess. But here we are, back in Guild Wars 2, with fraps with hopefully a decent FPS. And I also managed to mess up my audio recording for this clip, so this is me watching my own gameplay and doing commentary over it, which is going to be kinda a pain to sync up and stuff like that. But we can deal with that later. Let's actually start paying attention to the game now. So I'm here at my main quest location for the way in. I need to talk to Tislac, the giant frog, who seems to have to fight off little Chak bugs all the time while guarding this area, which is fun, and will happen during the conversation. Any moment now. Man, talking over your own gameplay is kinda awkward. So here I am fighting the little Chak bastards with my two-handed staff, which is the thief specialization. I don't know if I've ever talked about this in my gameplay videos, but I basically instantly switched to a build for my specialization, even though I don't have all the stuff for it unlocked yet. But I was just so anxious to try out the staff combat, and so far I'm really liking it, but I kinda missed the range.
Well, hello. What brings you through this way?
I'm looking for Rata Novus. Ever heard of it?
Rata.
That doesn't sound promising.
I'm assuming you mean an old Asuran city?
Yes, near here, underground.
The Nuhak don't call that Rata Novus. We only know it as a forbidden pit of despair.
That really doesn't sound promising.
The city has been dead for generations. Only the bravest venture in now.
Disappointing news, but I'd still like to check it out.
In that case, I can get you a map of the easiest way in.
That sounds great, thanks.
The easiest way is still fraught with peril.
Of course it is.
It's also blocked by a Chak hive. You'll need to dissolve it in order to enter Rata Novus. But don't fret. We Nuhak have a solution for that, in both senses of the word. You see, the jungle has an answer for every question it poses. In this case, the answer is alchemy. I can craft you this solvent, but it requires Chak enzyme. Bring enough back here and you'll have your key to the city.
I will. Where can I find the enzyme?
You can harvest them from the Chak themselves. That route will certainly go faster, if you know the ways of our hunters. Or you might find other Nuhak in the village who are willing to part with theirs.
Got it. Thanks, Tislac.
Well, it's amazing how good Tislac and my character are at talking and fighting at the same time. They would be amazing I mean, at doing Let's Plays. So yeah, I got a little bit lost here. I talked to the guy, but I wasn't really paying attention because I was fighting and I got distracted. But apparently I have to collect Chak enzymes and give them to Tislac.
I could outrun a centaur.
I couldn't figure out how to get them. My main guess was just killing Chak, But in the quest, it also said to talk to the local Nuhawk, so I decided to go into the fort and search for the Nuhawk NPCs that are in there. But apparently during this stage in the story mission, it removes all the Nuhawk NPCs. And just puts a bunch of guards up top at the upper levels and a bunch of Chak at the lower levels. So I was really confused. I was like, where are all these people? They were here a second ago. But yeah. This is me slowly figuring out what to do.
This isn't worth it.
That thief that I summoned was absolutely right by saying that it isn't worth it. So I saw those bunch of Chak coming in, but I was like, it might just be easier talking to the NPCs to get the enzyme screw fighting these guys. But I couldn't find anyone. Just looking around, trying to find them. I mean, they are giant frogs, and here is a patrol of frogs riding beetles, but not the frogs I was looking for. So I'm just legging it. And so I finally found where all the giant frogs were holding up, but talking to them didn't do anything. Oh. Yeah, the inventory, that's always a mess.
Study the jungle and
So now I'm
survive.
just spamming F, the use button, on all these guys to see if I can get anything out of them.
Welcome, outsider.
Hello there.
Those beetle-riding fanatics have surrounded Nuhawk. Without help, we're trapped here.
So they're basically explaining why they're up here.
Are you?
They're just not doing anything up here.
What are you?
Hello there.
Welcome, outsider.
When I was here earlier, I remember there was like a leader figure somewhere in this camp, like a queen frog or something, so I decided to try to find her. Maybe she could shed some light on which NPCs I'm supposed to talk to for this quest. And I thought it was this frog, Tonelli, because it's like a pink one.
Just look at it over there.
But it's definitely not
Say
female.
again?
That plateau. It's too high to climb from the jungle floor. If only I could fly. I'd love to be able to explore it.
If only I could fly. Well, I can fly. But there's nothing here except for angry mushrooms. Volatile mushrooms even. Well, I'm out. Oh, I remember this. Notice how I almost died from falling. I totally misjudged that the distance. So eventually I finally figured out that there are no NPCs down here to talk, so I just resorted to killing the Chak again. But killing... I think the enzyme drops randomly, because sometimes the little ones give them, but this one didn't. So I thought the little ones just didn't drop them, I had to kill like the bigger ones. But yeah, look at this place. It's... I mean, it are giant frogs, but it kinda looks like it's made for giants. I guess that makes sense, because it's made for giant frogs. But I felt so tiny running through that room. Now you can see Tislac fighting in the background again. Because I decided not to go and help him. When I finally see that these guys have the green quest marker
Come
above them.
here for a second.
Need something?
Be cool, be cool. Don't look at me, look down, like there's something interesting on the
Battle
ground.
awaits.
Yeah, casual. Casual like that, good. Now, word is... Don't look at me! Word is you're in the market for some Chak enzyme. I got some. You interested? Just cost you a little coin, you know?
So that's his conversation. He acts like a drug dealer
Study the jungle and survive.
with a way too high text bubble that I had a hard time figuring out how to get into the screen.
Welcome, outsider.
But then after he's done acting all like shady, you can't talk to him anymore.
Woe is me. I'll never see it again.
What's the matter?
The other day I was hunting Chak for their enzyme. Had a whole satchel full when I was attacked by the terrible Zacatl. In my haste to flee, I dropped the bag. My heritage warbler was in there.
Chalk enzyme? I'm in need of some.
Oh please, it's all yours. Everything that's in there is yours, if you bring back my precious warbler.
So that guy talked about a bag filled with enzyme and his precious warbler, which I have no idea what it is. So tempted by the prospect of finding a bag filled with Chak enzyme, I set out looking for it. But it's nowhere to be found. It doesn't seem to be marked on the minimap. I know that there's like a green marker on the minimap like straight ahead, but I couldn't figure out if there was anything there. So, as I quickly turn around and give up my search for the bag, I resort back to killing these guys. I switch to my offhand, which is a short bow. I really like to use the short bow, but since I changed my build, it doesn't do nearly the damage it used to do. I kill things way faster with the two-handed staff.
Hurts, doesn't it?
But I'm still getting used to the two-handed staff playstyle. I've been using it for a while now, but it's a lot of... It's really movement based. All the skills are like fly towards your enemy or fly away from your enemy, jump towards your enemy, blind your enemy, and that combined with my thief teleportation and stealing skill opens up a lot of interesting combinations. I just picked up another Chak enzyme. I think I've been calling them something else earlier. But yeah, enzyme is what it's called, and apparently they treat it like it's some sort of drug, because that guy was definitely talking like a dealer. Not that I know what dealers talk like. But yeah, I gave him 6, I believe, and that's the end of that quest. It just suddenly ends. It doesn't say anything about it. And now I need to talk to some sort of a guide. Oh no, it's not a guide, it's just the entrance to a tunnel I need to find. I'm watching this in a tiny screen in Adobe Premiere Pro, which isn't the best way of doing this actually, but it's fine. I can put it a little bit larger. Oh, I decided to disable the HUD there to see what the cave looks like in all its RP glory without any UI elements interfering. And I have to say, I still really like the graphics in this game. Guild Wars 2 still looks amazing. It's 2 or 3 years old now. Yeah, I spotted that big Chak behind me now. And I was like, nope, I'm not messing with that. I'm just moving on through the next portal, I guess. I like the way it dissolves.
It's still standing. Barely. I could outrun a centaur.
I like the look of these tunnels and underground areas of the Chak, however you pronounce them. It kinda looks like you're inside a vein or something. No, you're like a little blood vessel. But yeah, my quest is to use the Nuha pad to find Rata Novus. Which turned out to be a real pain in the ass, but it will come up. Staff Master, 5 of the 500 of 500 killing blows. Even doing this in post, I'm losing the ability to talk after a while. It's all fine. I do love my elite of summoning the thief NPCs. Doesn't do the most damage. And there are some other cool elites out there for the thief. But the summoned NPCs are a great distraction. Like sometimes the enemy NPCs just focus on them while I'm attacking them, which is awesome. Deeper into the creepy, veiny looking like tunnels we go. It looks like we're going up actually. I like how I instantly had to correct myself because I walked behind a corner. There was a slope up instead of going down. But yeah, I still think these Chak. They make horrible noises when they die. It seems so sad. I don't think they're necessarily evil, they're just like protecting their nest, and I'm just here mercilessly murdering them. But I guess you gotta do what you gotta do to stop an elder dragon. I decided to look for a boost where I had only a single one left to open up some more space in my inventory, as I'm quickly scanning through all this stuff. I spotted a magic find booster. It's always a good thing to have some magic find. But yeah, these Chak, I really like them as enemies, but I don't like killing them because they make the saddest noise when they die. And also they remind me a lot of the creepy underground insects from Skyrim, which I can't think of the name. But I know that like the underground blind elf things, I believe, or armor made out of them. Shitten or something like that? Yeah, I think that's it. Shitten? Kitten? Kiten? They remind me of those guys. So yeah, I really like the look of this area. Just look at that, coming out of the tunnel into a nice looking area filled with awful looking enemies. Another one of these holes to jump into. Straight into a loading screen. And that's the completion of that story quest. And a mastery point for free. I wish the game would give you some sort of hint which what the next mastery is you need to continue your story quest. Because I've noticed that I have the tendency of training the wrong mastery.
Quick, find its missing parts.
So there's this agent talking about primitive automatons that could lead us deeper into the facility. But I couldn't figure out where she was talking from. I could just hear the noise. Oh, and Fraps decided to die here. Like my FPS went from 50 to like 1. But it sorted itself out. So this definitely seems to be the entrance to Rata Novus. There's like a certain sentries and stuff. And a certain letter. A crew surveying the northwest discovered a species of anthropos. These creatures resemble the Chak spoken of in local Tislac lore. I thought I was turn page. Upon discovering the field golem, these creatures grew exceptionally aggressive. The crew was forced to flee and city defenses were turned on. And something else which I totally missed.
Automaton could lead us deeper into the facility were I to repair it. Quick, find its missing parts.
Yeah, so I could not figure out where that agent was talking from, so I just went into the story. It's interesting that this loading screen has like silhouettes of a Suran.
We should get moving. Where's Timey?
I told her not to, but she wandered off to study some old tech she said looked fantastically intriguing.
Time is of the essence, but we can't leave her here alone.
Wait, guys, I'm here. Don't get your feathers in such a ruffle. I'm fine.
Well, we don't have time to wait here while you play with some new toys. Dragon's not just gonna sit around while we find this Rata Novan research.
It's okay, but we can't delay any longer.
So we got a little crew together, Braham, Kanek and Timey. And me, the commander, which is probably one of the best crew combinations out there. And this is what is left over from Rata Novus. Some weird lights. Definitely a Suran looking columns.
Tislac was right. The city appears long dead. I guess we won't find any allies to rally for our cause.
Such a pity. All those Asura.
Maybe no new allies, but there is something else here. I'm picking up some prints that are definitely not Asura. Looks like they belong to...
Chak?
Yeah.
Was a very funny thing Erina did there. Sweet things they look like. The creatures that are attacking me right now? Yeah! I don't know if you could hear Braham because he was all the way in the back and I got distracted by the Chak coming out of the ground. But if you check the NPC chat log, that's basically what happened.
Makes sense the Chak are here. This place is a nexus for ley energy. I speculate these things actually channel it somehow.
Great. Well-fed Chak. They're probably responsible for the death of this entire city.
Luckily, you can withdraw into the safety of your golem. This is obviously no place for an Asura.
Safety of my golem? What's that supposed to mean? Maybe you need the safety of my golem.
What? I'm not saying it. Nature is.
Okay, enough. Let's pick up the pace.
I don't know why I decided to stand so far away from them while I was talking to them. It's like yelling across the room. So this is where the video is going to get weird. So as you see at the top right corner it says find the Elder Dragon research. So I got all excited about the chance of exploring this what looks like long dead Asuran city. So I decided to get right to it. I'm just wandering around looking for the research. Just looking at all kinds of different stuff. Which, I'm gonna spoil it now, is the wrong thing to do. But there's no clear indication of what you're supposed to do. So I don't feel like I messed up too badly. I mean, the game is telling me to find the research. So that's what I did. I wandered around to look for the research. But I'm going to fast forward this part. Because, I mean, it takes me a long time before I realize that I'm doing it wrong. So I'm just going to fast forward. I could cut this all out, but I kinda want you guys to experience what I went through. Looking for the research. Looking at these weird looking pylons. Thinking maybe it's something with the pylons, because they're everywhere in this place. I have to say, it looks really cool though. It's like closed gates everywhere, mushrooms to jump on. Weird writing on the floors. I was going to say ceiling, it was clearly a floor. Maybe it was a fallen ceiling. Wrecked, but I'm getting distracted, so I'm just finding like these wrecked columns, all kinds of stuff, but nothing I could interact with. So I was like, where does this game want me to go? Just trying to get up. There's nothing all the way up there. Don't seem to be able to get on the giant pillar, so I decide to go back down again. So this is basically just me running circles like crazy. And then I decide to go down to the water area again, where the game is like, you are leaving the instance. But then I found out there was another way to go, and the game didn't seem to want to kick me out of this way, so I assumed that I was going the correct way. And I was like, this is kinda really cool. Just like looking for answers and stuff like that. And I was like, looking for clues? I mean, not looking for answers, looking for clues. But I really wanted to find an answer. And then there was this jumping puzzle looking area, which I had some trouble figuring out, which now that I look back at it, I'm not really sure if this is ever meant to be used as a jumping puzzle. But I'm going nuts here. The speed is kinda crazy though. I'm just like checking the area out. Finally find a way. I glide and I jump and I glide. This definitely looks like a path you're supposed to go. Then I'm up here on this wall, and if I jump down there's no way back. But this room definitely looked like progress, so I was like, I'm jumping down. What I'm next to now looks like a big interactable computer thing. With a solar, like a machine in the middle. I was going to say a solar machine. It kinda looks like it interacts with the sun, but it's just a crystal light up there. There's a door with a dragon symbol on it. So I thought, the dragon research must be in there, right? But there doesn't seem to be anything to interact with in this room. Just mushrooms. So I'm thinking maybe I have to like get up to the highest stair and glide towards somewhere. Try to glide over a wall. You see me like constantly turning the camera on, looking for stuff to interact with. Holding down the control button to see the yellow highlights pop up, but nothing seems highlighted. I cannot glide over that Asuran protection wall. But yeah, I was absolutely sure I had to do something here. Like this is some sort of puzzle area. But I couldn't figure it out at all. I started feeling like an idiot. I was like, what am I doing wrong? There has to be something here. This whole area wouldn't be here for nothing. So I basically spent the rest of my time just wandering around in that area, trying everything and nothing. Until I finally decided to look it up. That's where I stopped my recording and decided to look on the internet what I was doing wrong and get back with another recording. And the other recording does have decent sound, where I didn't mess up the sound files at all. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And you might hear in my voice that I kinda got really salty and mad at the game for not giving clear direction what to do. I mean, I was doing what the game wanted me to do. I was looking for the research, but I just missed a critical step.